Okay, now we're given a situation where we don't see a graph and we have to just use math to figure out what the slope is. Of course, you could always make a graph, put the two dots and go rise and run, and you could figure out that way. But aside from making a graph, let's just figure out a different way to do it because there is a math way to do that. Now, remember when we talked slope, we had a rise over run, right? It was the ups and downs over the lefts and rights. So another way to think about that, when we talk about things at a rate of changes, we end up subtracting them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the y's over subtract the x's. The way you remember that is the x's are the up and down, the y's are the up and down, the x's are the left and right, okay, and it's rise over run. So you do the ups and downs over the lefts and rights. So now if I take a look at, let's do a couple examples. This is my x comma y and my x comma y. What I want to do is I want to subtract the y's. Now your book, your teacher probably showed you something that says, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or maybe there's a triangle with the y's and all that. That's fine. Subtract the y's over subtract the x's. Now you may ask yourself, well, which one? If I'm going to subtract the y's, do I go 5 minus 8? Or do I go 8 minus 5? Here's the answer. It doesn't matter. Okay, so in this situation, I'm going to go, let's just go 8 minus 5. Okay, those are my y's. I took this y and I subtracted that y. Now, once you make a decision on your y, you no longer can choose the x's. Since I did this one minus that one, I have to go this one minus that one and go 4 minus 3. Had I decided to go 5 minus 8 on top, that's fine, but then I would have had to have gone 3 minus 4. So whatever you do for your y's doesn't matter, but you need to be consistent with the x's, okay? And when I do that, I'm going to get 8 minus 5 is 3, 4 over 3 is 1, so my slope is 3 over 1. You can also say the slope is just 3, okay? Either one would be correct. Now, let's do this next one over here. Subtract the x's over subtract the y's. You know what? Let's just go the left one. This one we did right one minus the left one. Let's go left one minus the right one. So my y's are my 4 and my negative 3. Now watch how I write this. You really have to keep track of your negative signs. It's 4. I'm going to subtract that. So it's minus negative 3. You don't just write the minus 3. It's minus the negative 3. Over, and since I went left to right, I'm going to go left to right here, negative 3 minus the 2. Okay, let's go ahead and solve it. I have a minus and negative, so that's the same as add a line, change a sign. Same thing here, add a line, change a sign. I'm just working on my subtraction problems. And I'm going to get 4 and 3. That's going to give me 7. And negative 3 plus a negative 2 is negative 5. Okay, or you can write it as negative 7 over 5 or negative 7/5. Doesn't matter, but that's how you get your answer. Okay, why don't we do a couple more just to keep playing with some negative signs so you feel really good, and then we can go to our worksheets. Let me put up another problem or two. Okay, I have 2 points on the graph, all right? And I want to find the slope between them. Again, subtract the y's over subtract the x's. Man, I got lots of negative signs in here. There's no way to make this pretty, so let's just go. Let's go negative 2. Why don't I write it like this? Let me try this time just to make sure it's clear. I have a negative 2 and a negative 5. Those are my y's. And my x's, since I started here, I have to start here, is a negative 6 and a negative 3. Don't lose track of your negatives. What do I do between these? I need to subtract them. So now I need to put a subtraction symbol in between them. Okay, so it's not just negative 2 minus 5. It's a negative 2 minus a negative 5. It's negative 6 minus a negative 3. If you're going to get these wrong, it's probably because you forgot a negative sign somewhere. Okay, add a line, change the sign. Add a line, change the sign. Okay, so once I do that, I have a negative 2 plus a positive 5 times the difference. So I'm going to subtract, times the bigger number, which is positive. Then right here, I'm going to go negative 6 plus a positive 3 times the difference. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger number, which is negative. And my answer is negative 1. That's a slope of negative 1. Okay, let's try this one over here. I went left to right. Let me go right to left on this one just to show you it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here I'm going to have a negative 8 minus a negative 1. Okay, since I went here to here, I've got to go here to here. That's going to be 7 minus a negative 5. Okay, Add a line, change a sign, add a line, change a sign. -8 plus +1, signs are different, so I'm going to subtract, get the sign of the bigger number. And down here, signs are the same. So I'm just going to add them and keep the sign. My slope here is -7/12. So, what did you like better? If you see a graph, just count it up. That's great. If you like to subtract y's over subtract the x's, great. Do whichever one you want. They both work. Okay. And usually you're going to decide the method on what they give you for the question. But now you know how to find slope in two different ways. That's going to really help you with your graph.